Whenever you're ready. Hey guys, happy Sunday. Great to be with you guys again today. So we're going to start off just like we do at church and do our memory verse song this morning. So you guys have had lots of time to practice it. So we're going to go to our video now of our memory verse song, Joshua 1:9.
Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Whoa, oh, do not be afraid, no, no, don't be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, strong and courageous. Whoa, oh, do not be afraid, no, no, don't be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go, wherever you go. Joshua 1 verse 9.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you had a blast singing that song. It's a fun one. And a reminder, I posted on Facebook for you guys to email me a video of you singing or saying the memory verse song, and you are going to get a prize for that. So if your parents haven't mentioned it to you yet, make sure you go and tell them that you want to do it, okay? All right, so today our lesson is going to be about Jesus, who is our protector. Jesus fights for us, and we have nothing to fear because he is on our side. We are going to look at the story of Joshua in the Bible, as well as a really awesome psalm, Psalm 91, that talks about God's protection over us. So right now, I'm going to read to you Psalm 91, verses 1 to 2, and then I'm going to get you to repeat a part of it over yourselves because it's really powerful, okay? This is from the Message translation. You who sit in the high God's presence, spend the night in Shaddai's shadow. So Shaddai is another word for God, okay? Say this, God, you're my refuge. I trust in you and I am safe. That's right. He rescues you from hidden traps, shields you from deadly disasters. His huge outstretched arms protect you. Under them, you're perfectly safe. His arms fend off all harm. So I want you just to think about the huge, massive arms of God just outstretching around you and protecting you right now. And the fact that he is so much more powerful than anything that's going on in our world right now or anything you're dealing with at home. He is with you and he protects you. So right now, I want you guys to declare this part of the verse over yourself, okay? So it says right there in that verse, say this. So say after me, God, you're my refuge. I trust in you and I am safe. When we declare something, that means that we are speaking with determination and that we believe what we're saying. So as you say that over yourself, there is power that is there for you, and it is like decreeing over yourself, I am safe, and then God comes and answers that. Okay, so now we're going to do a little object lesson. So I've got a pack of cards here, and I've got a bottle, and I've got some water, okay? So we know, because our God is so strong and powerful, that nothing, absolutely nothing, is impossible for him. So I'm going to use this object lesson to help remind us of this. Hopefully this will stick in your head, okay? So how many of you guys think that if I fill this bottle up with water, so I'm going to do that right now, and if you think about this, this is a pretty heavy glass bottle, and it's full of water. So there's some weight to it, right? So how many of you guys think that this little playing card can hold back all the water in this bottle if I tip it upside down? Okay, so most of us are going to say, I think that's pretty impossible. I don't think that this little playing card can hold all this water into from coming out of this jar, okay? So let's try it out. So I'm going to put the card right over this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a tiny bit of that out. Right over the top of this, okay? And then flip it upside down. And then I'm going to let it go. And look at that. Is that not so cool? Now, what you guys thought was, so should I let the card go and let it spill? Of course, we love that, right? Yeah. So what we thought was impossible, a card being able to hold in all that water into this bottle, was actually possible. So I want you to think about that now, and think about God, and think about how big and powerful and strong and awesome he is. And I want you to remember this little card, that you need to just remember and believe that with God, nothing is impossible, and that he can do anything. Our God is an awesome God. He is a strong God. He's with us every single minute of every day. I want to encourage you in that. I want to get you excited with that right now. So we are going to sing one of our most favorite songs that we sing in Kids Church. And I bet you guys hopefully know which one it's going to be. So we are going to sing Nothing is Impossible. So if you're on a bed, if you're on a couch, if you're just sitting on your butt right now, I want you guys to get up and get moving and sing it like we sing it at Kids Church, and wake up your parents. Hopefully they don't spill their coffee, okay? And just praise and worship God for the fact that he is such a God of the possible. Nothing is impossible with him.
Through you, I can do anything. I can do all things, 'cause it's you who gives me strength. Nothing is impossible. Through you, blind eyes are open, strongholds are broken. I am living by faith. Nothing is impossible. Yeah. impossible. Through you, blind eyes are open, strongholds are broken. I am living by faith. Nothing is impossible. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe in you. I believe, I believe, I believe in you.
Okay, that was totally awesome. I love that song. It brings so much energy. And again, in that song, we're declaring who God is to us and all that he can do. And that's why worship is such a powerful weapon against the enemy. We make a declaration and the enemy has to flee. So we can do that as we praise and worship our God. So now we are going to watch the story of Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. And I want you to check out how God, again, did the impossible in this video. And one other cool thing, I want you to be listening in this video for our memory verse, Joshua 1:9, because you're going to hear it right in the middle of this video. So take a look now, everybody.
God's story, Joshua and the Battle of Jericho. So part of God's story is about a guy named Joshua, and it goes like this. 40 years after God led his family out of Egypt and through the desert, he chose Joshua to lead them to an amazing home he had promised them called Canaan. Now, Canaan wasn't their home yet. Not really. See, people lived there already, in a big city called Jericho. They had heard how God parted the Red Sea and rained down food from heaven for his family. They had heard how God had led his family with a cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. And they realized that if God wanted his family to move into Canaan, he would do something remarkable to get them there. So they were ready for an epic fight. In the past, that had really scared God's family. But here's the thing. God knew Jericho looked scary for his family. So when it was time to go, he reminded Joshua that he was in control. God said, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Joshua might have felt afraid, but he chose to be strong and courageous. Have you ever done something you know is right, even though you were scared? Anyway, for a while, God's family camped out, waiting to go in, wondering how to get through Jericho's walls. Then one night, Joshua looked up and saw a man standing in front of him. He was holding a sword and looked ready for battle, but Joshua didn't recognize him. He asked, "Are you on our side or our enemy's side?" The man said, "Neither. I'm on the Lord's side." At that moment, Joshua realized that it was God appearing as a soldier. He fell on his face and worshiped him. God was definitely with them and would lead the Israelites into Jericho. Well, after that, God told Joshua how to get through Jericho's walls. Here's what he told Joshua to do. March around the city once every day for 6 days. Have 7 priests get trumpets made out of ram's horns and carry them. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times. The priests should blow the trumpets during the march. When they blow a long blast, all the men should shout. Then the walls will fall. Joshua might have wondered how walking and yelling would make walls fall, but he didn't question God. He trusted God, so he obeyed. And guess what? At the last trumpet blast, the walls fell, just like God said they would. God promised not to leave his family, and he didn't. He helped them get through an impossible wall and move into their new and beautiful home. And through Joshua, God would continue to help his family. In fact, Joshua finally became so sure of God's power that he was able to help others to be strong and courageous, just like God had helped him. And that's the story of Joshua. But you want to know the best part? God appeared as a man to show Joshua that he would fight for his family and bring them safely to their new home. Joshua had nothing to fear. And later, Jesus came to earth as a man to fight for us by taking our punishment for sin so that one day we can live with him in a perfect new home, which means we have nothing to fear. Like Joshua, we can be strong and courageous. And that's a part of God's story.
I totally love that story. God was with Joshua, and God is with you every single minute of every day. We learn from Joshua that we need to choose to trust God. So Joshua was a little bit iffy about marching around and around and doing the things that God asked him to do. He was like, hey, how is that going to prepare us for battle? How are we going to be victorious through doing something like that? But he needed to make a choice and say, God, I choose to trust you right now. I choose to believe what you're saying to me and that you are going to make me victorious and you're going to protect me and you're going to keep me safe. And so this is such a great story for us to remember that when we have to make that choice, but when we make the choice to trust God, he will always be there for us. He never fails us. He never lets us down. So another thing that Joshua learned through that was he became so confident in his faith and following of God that it grew his faith so much that he wanted to share with other people. So I want to give you a challenge today. Who are you going to share Jesus with this week? Who could you encourage this week and say, hey, you know what? God is for you. He's not against you. Yeah, things in our world are really strange and scary right now, but I know a God who has it all in control. So I want to encourage you, because you can do it over a phone call or FaceTime or whatever your parents let you do, that you encourage somebody this week. As we've been built up in faith this morning, in needing to trust in an amazing God who is our protector and who is such a strong God, that you can encourage somebody else. So I'm going to pray for you right now, and then I will see you next week. Jesus, we thank you for this word. We thank you that you are our protector. We thank you that nothing is impossible for you. And right now, I pray you would build up our faith in these times that are a bit scary, Jesus. This is not scary to you, and this is not something that you didn't know that was going to happen. And so right now, just like Joshua did, we choose to put our trust in you. We choose to say, Jesus, I trust you with my life, and I put myself in your hands again. And so right now I pray that each child or adult that's watching this would be encouraged in their faith in you, and that they would make a choice this week to encourage somebody and just to tell them that God is for them. In Jesus' name, amen. Bye guys. Have a great week. See you next Sunday.